Absolutely. Well, let's go through these teams for the folks at home. The team first up is the team in black, the number 2 ranked Detroit Derby Girls. Number 100, Polly Fester. 11, Eliminator. Number 22, Effin' Money. 247, Booty Livers. Number 28, Racer McChaser. Number 303, Brucey Sue. Number 313, Black Eyed Skis. 333, Cookie Rumble. 428, Freakin' Reekin'. Number 46, Fatal Femme. Number 55, Terra to Pieces. Number 6, Elle McPherson. Number 68, Summer's Eve L. And number N20, that's Cool Whip.
All right, in our next break, I will update Team Gold, that is Baru City Bruisers, but we actually have action underway right now. Jammer's going to be shoving her way through. It looks like both of them neck and neck, but to the inside, it could be, it was given to Racer McChaser. She is your lead jammer.
Carrie Hacksaw in the back there working her way through for Brew City, and she just makes it through the pack. She's about a half track behind. Still going to try and build up some speed there, try to narrow that down a little bit.
As you may have seen earlier, Brew City definitely a harder hitting team that's out there, but Detroit, in my opinion, one of the hardest, one of the toughest physical teams. They just keep pummeling you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they could certainly, any team that faces Detroit could certainly use some of that Dr. Hauschka bruise healer, official bruise healer, Dr. Hauschka. You can lose the bruise with Dr. Hauschka's Ouch Aid.
All right, for Brew City Bruisers, we've got number 0, Bloody Cupcake, 02, Serving Justice, 216, Frank Herder, 24 is Carrie A. Hacksaw, 30, Romaniac, 31, M. Fatale, 331, Spazzle Dazzle, 425, Betty Clobber, 44, Fidela Castrate, 60 is High D Voltage, 68, Moby Nips, 716, Zote, 78, Rejected Soul, and 8, Carabunga.
And jamming out there right now for Detroit, we have Cookie Rumble up against Spazzle Dazzle for Brew City.
Spazzle Dazzle taking a nice bump to the inside, almost flies into it. She's able to get back up on her feet, but could be, maybe still lead jammer. We're going to see how she's going to get through this pack.
She had it through. She almost had it, but getting inside at turn 1, got knocked inside a little bit. Had to take a little tumble there, came back. Now she's dealing with Black Eyed Skis and Booty Livers in the back of the pack.
Jammer's back around. Cookie Rumble, 333 for Detroit in the black. Already got a couple of points up. Going to see if she can get a few more as they go. She runs right in, stops it up. Nice bit of a hop maneuver over. Romaniac, though, in that outside edge is not going to let her continue to move through. Cookie Rumble now has to recirculate up into the middle and on the outside. In the meantime, Jammer is finally through on the initial pass for Brew City.
Yeah, Fidela Castrate was doing a good job of trying to keep her back there, trying to knock her out a few times, but didn't work out for her, unfortunately, for Brew City.
Spazzle Dazzle just doesn't have quite the speed at this point. Cookie Rumble, I think, is just waiting to see if it's going to be worth to call it or not. And I think that, especially early on, is not the worst idea. See how your opponent's going to go through. You don't have to end it right now. If they're going to get caught up in the pack, you're going to find a good opening. You take it. That's even more points. You don't have to start playing that conservatively quite yet.
Well, that's right. They're up 12-0 right now, Detroit is, and they can keep on coming up. But unfortunately for Brew City, that Spazzle Dazzle is being sent to the box with a cut there.
Thus illustrating the point. It's nice when every once in a while I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Cookie Rumble's now going to be able to take advantage of that power jam for a few more seconds that are left in the jam, but then they're going to have the power jam continue into the next one. So great opportunity, as it looks like 5 more points going up for Detroit.
Yeah, she kind of poured on the speed going through the pack right at the end there, but was unable to reach it again for another pass. But doesn't matter right now. Detroit 17, Brew City 0 with 26 minutes, 37 seconds remaining. You know, Adam Wheels is the official wheel of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. Adam Wheels.
If you're a fan of flat track, the WFTDA merchandise, it is available for purchase. You can get an officiating manual, patches, apparel, pocket-sized booklets, all kinds of DVDs from the tournament season. WFTDA.com is your resource for everything Derby. You're actually watching it right now.
Here we go in the power jam and in your lead jam for Detroit. That's number 22, Effin' Money. Effin' Money.
That is so effing money. Again, she's going to be unopposed right now as we have Spazzle Dazzle still in the penalty box. Effin' Money just playing it smart, trying to get back around. Interesting to see the strategy pack. They're trying to get 100 just to kind of back up Polly Fester. If they can get her into that group, they got the nice bit of trap going 78, but she is able to get up and through. Good footwork from Rejected Soul.
Yeah, they're trying to keep Rejected Soul away from that rest of that pack, trying to maybe break up the pack a little bit, allow her to jam her through, but not this time. Looks like Spazzle Dazzle standing up, and she is back in. There she goes. We'll see if Evermoney is able to notice that before she goes through the first time.
Well, that's again the question. The strategy going to change. She'll get through that first time. She'll get the pass.
Oh! Nice hit there.
I think you were able to actually see that on the camera there. She went out into the crowd. Best souvenir you're ever going to get is a bruise from a Derby girl. Sends her back in.
A few autographs out there.
Side right above the bruise. Spazzle Dazzle was here.
Spazzle Dazzle has finally made it through. So, with a signal from Big Paparazzi, she calls it off. Always good to see a lot of outside help for these teams. The early days of Derby, you had just kind of looking at your own home bench and just kind of going up. Should I call it off? Should I go? But it's been wonderful to see just the amazing amount of different signs that it's almost like baseball that have been coming through. Different teams have different signs, different ways of going through, and Detroit just shows great teamwork here, great planning.
Tear it to pieces on the line in black for Detroit. I believe that could be Carrie A. Hacksaw, number 24. From this angle, I'm just going to go ahead and say I feel confident. I think I have chosen wisely.
She would stand up. Yeah, there we go.
Carrie A. Hacksaw. Carrie A. Hacksaw. Interesting is they just kind of, it's almost like they break into a huddle there all of a moment. Gets very quickly dealt with. Carrie A. Hacksaw tries to make a move. She gets up near Heidi Voltage, tries to push to the outside. Nice bit of footwork happening from Polly Fester, but it did not hold. Through is Carrie A. Hacksaw for lead.
Lead jammer, the first lead jam for the Brew City Bruisers. Hopefully they can use this to try to turn the tide so they stop hemorrhaging points like this. Detroit is up by 27.
That was an amazing hit. She came through. She swung them wide like saloon doors. They went flinging out. Goes right up into the middle, and then just momentum is dead. So she's going to see nice bit of a falter right there. She fakes it, then pushes up, but they did not quite fall for it. Black recirculates up into the front, holds it off.
What's really cooler is she is remaining calm. She's just kind of keeping on going through. She knows that the Detroit Jammer has not made it through on the first pass, so she's just going to keep on concentrating on scoring as many points, hopefully the full 4, as she can.
I've actually been watching Hacksaw play for many years. She started in Madison and she's been in Milwaukee, and I think calm is exactly the best word to describe her. She is one of the calmest players. She just always level-headed. She makes mistakes, as we just saw right there. She's like, you know what? I'm sick of you talking, announcer guy. I'll show you level-headed. She's going to sit in the penalty box for 1 minute, so it's going to be a power jam right now. Tara Tapice is still out there with a jam star for Detroit.
And she has finally made it through here. She can now start scoring points, but she only has a second or two left, and
in theory.
That was 5, count them, 5 points for Brew City, getting them on the board with 5. They now trail Detroit by 22. These teams played each other quite a bit over the years. Back and forth. Detroit has made it to championships 3 times now, looking for their 4th. Brew City has yet to make their first appearance.
Well, we're going to see what they can bring right now. Unfortunately, Hacksaw still in the penalty box, so it looks like Racer McChaser. Nice bit of a move, last minute tumble by a teammate. She's able to readjust, gets around, now goes up the middle and just holds that line. Someone's in front of her, but she's just playing wise. Very smart, has the hands up, just using the momentum of her body, but great footwork. Holds that line, is able to get around, but
some good recycling there by Brew City. Getting 1 or 2 or even 3 players in front, but she finally goes, she gets through. She is now your lead jammer. Carrie Hacksaw is standing. That means she has less than 10 seconds, and there she goes. Carrie Hacksaw has rejoined the race. As we come up on turn 1 there, here we go. Going to go through. We have 4 Milwaukee blockers in front.
Looks like still a bit of a pack on pack. They've got it split. You've got gold up front with black in front and the back. Nice bit of a trap happening, trying to hold back Hacksaw. We're able to do it for a moment until number 47 lost her balance. It was at 247. Boo delivers.
made it through. Carrie Hacksaw got through. She is now able to score points. But not before Racer McChaser calls it off.
Nice belt whip. Racer McChaser just gets 2 hands full and yanks. I gotta say, Racer McChaser is one of the most powerful jammers we see. So if she gets that kind of a pull, you've got to be a pretty sturdy blocker. And of course, Black Eyed Skis fits the bill quite nicely. Just able to holds the core, gets the yank around, gets her out. Right now, Detroit at 31. Brew City still sitting at 5.
The big question is who is going to be the tournament MVP. That person will get a free vacation, a 1-week getaway to Mexico, courtesy of Union Vacations. Union Vacations, another proud sponsor of Monumental Mayhem.
Zote on the line for Brew City.
But it's going to be Cookie Rumble. Cookie Rumble for Detroit is the lead jammer of the jam.
The jammer in the lead.
Lead jammer of the lead.
Who is also
right
the lead jammer. I got to say, Pack Dynamics, very interesting. Lots of circulation happening. It's very hard to see if there's any control right now. It's almost kind of a man-on-man with a little, a hint of zone defense happening.
Cookie goes through, gets that jammer lap point for the Grand Slam. Directly behind. Ooh, if looks could kill. Wow.
We could see it from all the way over here.
Zote just laser eyes into the back of the head of Cookie Rumble, saying, I'm here, you just try to make another pass.
Little beer bottle-shaped daggers. Bit of a spin to the inside. Brew City member goes down, gets back up. We're going to see if any points were picked up. Looks like 2 more for Detroit.
And null 0Z for Brew City. They are remaining at 5. Detroit at 38. I got to tell you, I just heard Dump Truck in the House announcements talking about Derby skins, so I want to talk about them too. They make your hiney shiny. One of the best things to put on your body, Derby skins. They're right over there across from us, and I'm looking at all the new exciting events, the exciting products they have, and I'm sure that I'll be forced to bring some home for the wife.
You know, what's nice is I've been over there, and of course it was for humorous intent, but they said, oh yeah, we've got plenty of sizes. We have men's sizes. We'll custom fit you. They were completely ready to go. Whatever you need, they've got it for you. Much like the defense so far for Detroit, as it seems they've been trying to just position themselves to get in front of Hacksaw. They did for a moment, but remember, this is Hacksaw.
Very nice. Makes it through. Carrie Hacksaw. There she goes. Detroit now with number 22, Effin' Money, has now also made it through the pack. Once again, about a half track behind Carrie Hacksaw. Carrie Hacksaw making it through. Has just one Detroit blocker in front of her and calls it off. Wise move. Picks up 3 points.
Nice little bit of a flourish there. She had just kind of like, and scene. Bring it down.
That's going to bring Brew City up to 8. 8 big roller derby points. 17 minutes, 23 seconds remaining in this first half. Detroit leads 38-8. Big smile on Heidi Volchage's face there. She was quite happy with that.
What's not to love?
Spazzle Dazzle was actually pulled down to take a knee at the last second there.
I believe that is number 30, Romaniac for Brew City. She is out there right now up against Tara to Pieces. Again, we saw this before. Gold in front with one black, black in back with one gold. What's going to make that change? Right there, it's like they just kind of merge up, blend off in some other way. You know, that's what it's interesting because when you have that split, you don't have any assistance for your jammers. It's just pure defense. It's one of the rare times that the inherent beauty in this game is it's offense, defense at the same time, except them.
That's right. Detroit stuck up there. We have 4 Brew City blockers up there. And now they're finally getting some help for their jammer up there. Detroit, oh, but she gets pushed in between turns 1 and 2.
Nice bit of a connection. 247 hits her once. Says, you know what? Yeah. Boo delivers. Indeed, she does. Gets a nice bit of a hit.
Yeah, Romaniac took the hit, but then it took her a little while, but then she eventually did have to fall down. Just kind of threw her for a bit of a loop there.
I think it was almost like, fine, you got me. Just stop hitting me. Good call from our ref there. Romaniak leaning a little bit too hard with those forearms, trying to push him forward. He sees it. There's a minor right there. She is through, though, but she did pass him eventually legally, so that does make her the lead jammer, of course. We're very close behind.
20 feet, tear her to pieces, 20 feet behind her. She's going to try to get past Black-Eyed Skis here before, and she does, and calls it off. Picks up 1 point for Brew City, chipping away inch by inch, step by step.
I was just about to scream Niagara Falls into the mic, but I think you and maybe one other person would have appreciated that. So I digress.
We've got, again, a familiar face to Detroit fans, Racer McChaser in black and Zote in the gold.
A lot of these skaters are working with Protect Dent mouth guards. They are the first thoroughly scientific mouth guard for the derby player. Form to your mouth in a little hot water, and you are good to go with that $30,000 dental guarantee. Protect mouth guards.
Reverend Riot and I came up with a great term over the trip here. We're going to call them battle teeth. You put in your battle teeth. Working hard out there. Zote trying to push to the outside, but who was it? I heard a whistle.
Oh, no, number 333. That's Cookie Rumble. She's heading to the box there. So horse race. No. Oh!
Oh,
forearm.
That looks like a major forearm. Whistler called her. It's like, no.
On Brucey Sue.
You can't do that.
But it was really effective.
It was. It slowed her down just enough. Zote makes it through, picks up the Grand Slam. 5 big roller derby points for Zote and the Brew City Bruisers.
Very well played. I almost expected a pirouette once she got through. She saw it was going to, she pulls the foot up, she just kind of leans it, and then sets it back down. She's
trying
around
for another pass through here.
Interesting to see. Detroit came out very strong. They're just kind of stalling for a moment here. Brew City wisely taking advantage of that, just have some skill.
And Brew City picks up 4 at the end. Coach Swingwreck just came out here and have a little chat.
He's been known to do that. All right, refs go out. What did that guy say? Oh, okay.
I was talking to Swingwreck a little earlier today, and really what they're going for is they are just kind of trying to keep it even, keep an even keel, keep it level, not get too crazy about here. They know they have a tough job to go ahead here, and they're just going to keep on keeping on trying to defeat this this very tough team, higher ranked team. Number 24, there she goes.
Oh, that was
Mary Hacksaw.
That was some tremendous. That was some tremendous contact. She's going to need a moment just to clear herself. I think they're going to need to have the EMTs come out and look. She had just a big hit. She got a smile on her face, and I think they're going to stand her up.
Stands her up, gets a big ovation from everybody out here. Both these teams, all these fans, and all these other teams here, they know how hard it is out there. They know how hard people hit, how hard it is to take a tumble on the sport court or concrete or wood or whatever. She'll be sitting out. Hopefully, she'll be back. If not in this game, then for their next game. But I'm always impressed with just how fast the volunteer EMTs, volunteer medical professionals get out there to tend to these skaters.
Yeah, what's nice is it shows that there's a commitment that goes beyond significant other. There are people here that just love the sport, love the women that compete, love the other support members that are here, and it really does become a community. I mean, it's not as though we have all of these athletes here with these big salaries, and you've got caps and all of these issues that other major sports are having right now. Whereas people are here because they love to play the game, and people are here because they love to be with people who love to play the game, and that is one of the things that I hope never changes with roller derby, because it's a beautiful thing. So it's going to take a moment for them to just make sure everything's okay. It looks like Dr. Broom.
Dr. Broom, she was talking to both captains, both coaches.
We're finding out here that sign language is not the best effective tool for Derby announcers.
Well, if anyone
We thought we would try it.
had bothered to learn it prior to
You know, I thought I forgot something before I came here.
Step 1, learn sign language. Step 3, profit.
It's that second step I'm always unsure on. F and Money on the jam line for Detroit, right behind her. 78 Rejected Soul.
And the pivot line is going to get a little lonely here as both teams line up back at the jam line. Rejected Soul jamming for Brew City Bruisers. Up against F and Money for Detroit. Oh, and it's a sprint. F and Money goes down. Rejected Soul is your lead jammer.
Polly Fester, very wise. She knows how far 20 feet is. She sees if she can push it. Doesn't matter. She does not get called for it. F and Money is finally through. She's being waved off. 3:33. She is going out. Not quite sure what the penalty was for Detroit.
But she's not too happy about it. She's jawing her teammate's ear off over there. Rejected Soul calls it off with F and Money a good 30, 40 feet behind her. You know, they have quite a ways to go, but quite a bit less than they had before. Detroit now at 38, Brew City 21. That is 17 points separating these two teams with just over 11 minutes remaining in this first half.
Dr. Hauschka, they are celebrating the freshest faces of the WFTDA. You can stop by their website at any point. Dr. Hauschka, I believe it is drhauschka.com. I'll make sure that I get that out to you because their products are great. They've been a great friend to us here in the WFTDA, so we always want to mention Dr. Hauschka. And, of course, their Ouch Aid.
Of course.
It's a Midwestern term.
I'm from the Midwest.
It's like
I'm not
Natch.
aware
It's the
that.
shorting of naturally. Of course.
Oh, Booty Livers takes advantage of a little bit of knocking inside there on Carrier Hacksaw. Booty Livers takes lead jam status. Carrier Hacksaw's made it through now as Booty Livers is in the center of the pack here. Gets past that final bruiser skate.
Romaniac had so much power. She tried to move forward. She slowed herself down so she didn't get pinched out and actually knocked herself backward. I don't think I've seen that happen anytime recently.
Waited until Hacksaw was near the back of the pack. I don't know. There's lots of time left. I don't know if you need to just knock down that time this early in the game. 10 minutes left in the first half. Detroit 42, Brew City 21. And we have a timeout charged to Detroit. You can let Vanilla Derby take you to success with their leather Renegade and Straightjacket boots. Vanilla Derby, another proud sponsor of the North Central Region playoffs here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Monumental Mayhem.
I want to remind you, it is hashtag #TalkToWFTDA, TALK2 WFTDA. Kind of curious what you're thinking out there. We're going to find out in a moment. Maybe, just maybe you might have something relevant.
Well, Daisy Buchanan sends much Derby love from Sydney, Australia, and thanks for the rad coverage. So thank you, Daisy Buchanan. I wonder if that's an Australian joke that I just don't get. Do you know down in Australia they skate clockwise because of the Coriolis effect? I'm told.
I can't believe you just said Coriolis on the internet.
I like to drop some science, some actual.
You dropped some
science.
mad science. That's how you do. So we got on the jam line number 31. She's in gold. Her name is M. Patel.
She's an M Fatal.
28, Racer McChaser.
Don't mind if I do.
I got to say, what's interesting about these teams, there are those occasions where we'll be calling games and you get a lot of love for the Jammer because they're the ones they're rooming through, they're the ones we're talking about. But both of these teams have such solid defensive players. I love just being able to mention, much like you saw right there, number 68, Moby Nips. She just runs out in front. I know her name because I see her make those big plays. Both of these teams, strong, strong, strong. That's why I love right now.
Ran right into the back there.
Detroit 42, Brew City 21. We saw that big run early from Detroit. It just seems to have slowed down. But what's interesting, we saw then a bit of a jump from Brew City. Seems to have slowed down a bit. Right now, I think they're just knocking each other around. I think they have more fun doing that. But sometimes you just got to break away from that, as we saw right there. Racer McChaser, she gets through, 5-point grand slam. That was an impressive move.
Didn't even touch a Brew City skater until she was up to the last one. Now number 44, Fidela Castro, the last for line of defense, pushes her out and has to let her go. No pass, no point. That's 4 points instead of the 5 that you would get normally. Pass Fidela Castro out of bounds. Fidela Castrate, pardon me.
I could see why you'd fear that word. Note to self, castrate. So as we can see, 31 almost. Oh, I think she ran her face into the elbow. Brew City is having a hard time here with equipment, but it looks like. Interesting call from our ref. I didn't see the angle that he did, but I'm not going to question him because I think it's definitely possible. Cool whip comes in. I think it was her elbow went back, made contact with the face of the jammer. That is why she was called out for that major blocking to the head.
Well, you know, impact and intent, the two eyes. .333 Cookie Rumble lining up for Detroit. Up against number 716 Zote for the Brew City Bruisers. For those of you watching at home, which is, well, all of you that can hear us. Detroit, of course, is in black and red, and Brew City is in gold and red.
Zote on the line for Brew City. She's making a move to the inside, just kind of step, because she is getting some great adversarial blocking from Black-Eyed Skis.
Oh, check out that speed on Zote there. But right behind her, Cookie Rumble pouring on the gas here. This has not been a very fast game until now. Both these teams are playing very, very measured at Derby. But all of a sudden, they were cooking with gas. Zote picked up some points there.
And it seems these jams are getting a little bit shorter now. It's the strategy is again starting to change. We're going big ones, big power hitting plays, and now it's speed, get through some points. Speed, get through some points. Detroit altering it just a little bit with 6:30 left at 56 now, as Brew City sits at 21. And we want to thank one of our great partners right now, Elemental Technologies. They are the world's most powerful video processing solutions. Elemental Technologies, we're going to be talking about them a lot this weekend. They're great folks.
F and Money lining up for Detroit. Up against number 24, Carria Hacksaw for Brew City. Close together. F and Money caught up in the mosh here. Goes around the outside. We've got, F and Money with a track cut major going out. That's going to put Brew City on the power jam.
Great communication between our refs. I watched it happen the whole way around. Outside ref saw it, called it in, got confirmation because your jam ref was like, wait, what happened? Got it back. By the time she was on the other side of the track, she was already in the chair. Great reffing here this entire weekend. What I predict. So far, it's been really good.
Romaniacs joining her in the box. Carria Hacksaw here on the power jam, getting past these last two Detroit defenders. Oh, but goes down.
Cool whip now in the box for a major cut, so she is going to be over.
And now the Detroit pivot, number 6, Elle McPherson, heading to the box as well.
Goes back, just wanted to make sure the bench saw that she was there.
Yep.
Never a bad idea.
Detroit at a full bench. Only 2 skaters going to be out there.
Yeah, you can see one of their coaches out there running, grabbing them in. Very smart. You do not want too many out. Get in here, get in here. Everybody's full.
And here we go. Moby Nips for Brew City. And she's your lead jammer. Not all that difficult when there's only 2 defenders, but, 1 defender.
Interesting.
Gets waved off by the box.
Bruce Susie tries to make contact, does, but it does not slow her down as 68 is going to come back around for another try. Moby Nips, strong defender, but to put her in jam, she can still produce, as you saw there. Takes a big hit, just bounces out, repositions, unfortunately now behind the strong defensive line of Black.
And just in that last paragraph, Effin Money came back through. Effin Money is back in. She's pushed through the pack and can now start scoring points. But she has to deal with Moby Nips, who is playing some defensive jamming at the front of the pack. And who calls it off, picking up another 5 points. It's a 10-point jam for Brew City, bringing them up to 14 points for Brew City, bringing them up to 35 to Detroit's 56.
Lots of time, 3.5 minutes to play in this period. So you got about 21 points between these two. Now, we haven't seen any major jams yet.
Nope.
So I think most likely we can imagine they may close this gap a little bit. But as we've seen, every once in a while, Detroit has something in their pocket. And they just pull it out and go, oh, look how shiny that is. And they just move ahead by those few points. So the gap may increase, may decrease. Basically, that analysis just negated itself.
Yep, Detroit was kind of running the clock there so they could get their pivot back in. Detroit still with one player, one blocker in the box.
Oh, it's like Windows Vista out there. Everybody's crashing left and right.
Oh.
Hey-o. We'll be here all weekend. But seriously, great move because everybody's in a pile. They peel off. So you got that first one down. They have to wait until everybody's off. And somebody was able to scoot out from under. It's going to be able to come back around, get up to the penalty box.
Zote did make it through, but after some confirmation with a couple other refs, did not score any points. So that was a null that time. Going to line up. Let's do this all over again. Carrie Hacksaw up here, up against number 22, Effin Money for Detroit in the black. Carrie Hacksaw for Brew City in the gold.
They're just contemplating. They're just taking the, well, I could go to the inside, but I'm not gonna yet. Just waiting. All right, that was outside. She took that knee, 20 feet. She's outside of the zone of engagement, so also she's outside of the consistency of the pack. Therefore, she's not in the pack. They are able to go, and it did play off for, I believe that is Detroit. Detroit was being pointed at.
That's right.
Effin Money, she's your lead jammer.
10 feet ahead, but no lead jam for her. Carrie taking almost a bow there for managing to stay on her feet there. The Wreck and Roller Rebels, who is a rec league in Denver, Colorado, would like to point out that October is, of course, National Roller Skating Month. So what a great time to have, really, in my opinion, the best regional, North Central regional playoffs here, right here in Roller Skating Month.
It just feels right.
It does.
We've got number 68. Just, it's almost like when you were kids and you just, if anybody ever saw rugby, everybody just joins their shoulders. But this way they're all pushing the same direction, yet they're slowing way down. But it actually works out. Moby Nips is able to hold on, get around. She is your lead jammer. Pack suddenly goes, I didn't even see, wait. And they're just trying to play catch up at this point. 333 Cookie Rumble out.
Summer's Evil in the box, which is going to cause Brew City to have a 4-3 advantage. 26 seconds remaining in that first half here. We're going to see if we can get another jam going.
I think we're going to have probably about 3-4 seconds difference. I got all mixed up as the numbers reversed themselves there. I was like, how did it go from 3 to 2 to 1 to 2 to... Oh, that's right, because they're going to alternate. So they're going to have just enough time to get one more jam underway in this first half as Detroit in the black and red at 56 points. Brew City Bruisers, 37 in the gold. We've got Racer McChaser out there, and also we've got Zote in the gold.
There's a... sorry about that, folks. Here we go. On the outside, but Racer McChaser has to stop a little bit there. But she pours on the speed, and there she goes. Man, I really thought that Brew City had it there, but Racer McChaser did not give up. Kept on through, lead jammer, but there's some hella good speed there from number 26.
Indeed, we've got number 31 going around outside. She is in the penalty box. M. Patel, I'm not quite sure why she was sent, but that's going to be something. Racer McChaser gets down. She was not happy about that. I did not quite see. It looked like she kind of fell forward but made contact with potentially a skate. What did you happen to see that, Madman?
Both coaches are coming out to talk to the refs, I'm sure, about two completely different things. Swing Rex done almost immediately. He's very efficient.
I believe that we actually had a request come in, and
We had a challenge.
John Maddening, rose to that challenge.
That's true. We had a request from the Minnesota Roller Girls track maintenance engineer Wetspot, who challenged us to make a haiku about this game. So I have, and here we go. Detroit Derby Girls are ahead by 16 points. Can Brew City win? That's it, man. 5-7-5.
Count the syllables.
That's haiku. Actually, a real haiku is supposed to be about seasons, right? Or
Yeah, something like that.
nature.
It's something like haiku.
But there's only so much we can do.
We're on a limited budget here.
16 points separate these two teams. Detroit 56, Brew City 40.
16 syllables.
16
That's
syllables,
a little
16
too-
points. It's very, very cool.
I'm suddenly uncomfortable by the coincidence that we have. 56, again for Detroit. They're wearing the black. As you can see, they're getting their pad checks, adjusting of the helmets. Got to wiggle them just a little bit as a group. So we've got Brew City at 40 points. Taking down our halftime. What do we
You
got?
know,
Yeah.
other insurance companies might have funny commercials, but Erie Insurance keeps you covered with seriously good insurance.
Seriously?
Erie Insurance. They're right over there. They have a fabulous little banner that has the Groucho mask. Kind of giving the needle to all those companies that make insurance, a joke when it's something that you want to have, you want to make sure that you have, and the Erie Insurance is here to help you out. Erie Insurance, another sponsor of Monumental Mayhem. And Spenlin is here. Spenlin Media, of course, the architects of the WFTDA website and the rules document. They're here with a new kind of T-shirt, Outside the Lines. If you're here or if you're at Championships in Denver, you can check them out at the Spenlin booth. Spenlin Media.
We're going to get lined up again very quickly. Carrie A. Hacksaw. She is on the line. Number 22 is going to be right next to her. That is Effin' Money in the black.
Two of my favorite players on their respective teams right here.
So we're going to have a moment seeing as looking a little thin for the gold team. From your angle there, you can see there's only two out. Now you can see that there are going to be two in the penalty box as they're sitting right there behind the Monumental Mayhem sign.
And we begin.
Two whistles gets the jammers out. Nice bit of jammer on jammer action from the get-go.
Oh, but that poor
that
wall
was
there.
wise. Did you see she kept
That was
edging her
really-
over?
Smooth move. That was great. But Detroit, they're making a big four-wall right in the front, making sure that Carrie Hacksaw cannot get through. So Effin' Money is already on her second pass right here, and her scoring pass. Oh, a nice jump. And then a cross-check over there on Frank Herter to get her out of the way. And that is a grand slam for Effin' Money, number 22 in Detroit.
That was a great setup. Racer McChaser playing a little bit with number 24, Carrie A. Hacksaw, completely drawing the attention. Eliminator tries to do just that, makes great contact, did not see it at the right time. Momentum took her right down, is going to be able to get her back. So Jammer's going to be able to come around, hopefully, for Detroit. Effin' Money getting caught up, though.
Yep. Carrie had a little bit of a booty block there to knock her back, but Effin' Money is now once again ahead. And it's four big Detroit blockers separating her from the front of the pack. Oh!
I'm thinking that might be, indeed it is. It looks like it's a low block major. She gets the skates tripped up. She tried. It's been successful for Hacksaw earlier. She waits, and then she goes. At that point, she got her skates caught up. She takes a tumble and a trip to the penalty box. In the meantime, Effin' Money taking good advantage of that with a few seconds that are left.
That was Eliminator, and I think she winced a little when she got up. Let's hope she's okay. Certainly not anything that she was trying to do. Looks like she shook it off. She's doing all right. Coach is checking, making sure everything's cool. And everything is cool if you're a Detroit Right fan right now. Because we got one of the fine Detroit Derby girls right here, the captain, Razor McChaser, up here. She's going to be having a lovely little power jam situation here. 27 minutes, 31 seconds remaining in this game. We have a timeout here.
Looks like Dr. Vroom answering the old question, who has two thumbs and the authority to shut this down? Official timeout being called, not exactly sure why. We're going to get our official runner help us out here in just a moment's time.
Detroit now leads by 30 points, 70-40. So in just 2 jams has really ranked up that point total.
And the dance party has
begun. They're still having fun.
It's roller derby. Why wouldn't you have fun? So that was an official timeout just to make sure that the points were correct. So as you see them, Detroit has 70, Brew City at 40.
Racer McChaser once again here on the Power Jam for Detroit. Gets pushed out there by number 2 Servin Justice. Oh, and another hit on her, but she makes it past that time. Lead jammer.
Number 6 is going to be coming around for Detroit over to the penalty box, Elle McPherson. Again, looking a little thin. Penalties starting to affect both of these teams right now. Racer McChaser, did you see the amazing hit with Servin Justice?
I was actually watching. Frank Herter come out of the penalty box. So Brew City is back at full blocking strength, and their jammer standing up now. So less than 10 seconds until she can rejoin, and then Brew City is going to be at full strength. Detroit down by 1 blocker.
See how Racer McChaser, she comes in, she's able to adjust at the last moment, but she got pushed to the inside, so a little bit too much. Topples over. Carrie A. Hacksaw comes out and just runs over the top. No foul appears to be called. It is possibly a minor, as I saw Whistler saying after the fact, but I do not see which one it went to.
I think Carrie grabbed a jersey there and whipped herself around to get a little extra speed, but not picking up any points. So Detroit picked up 7 that time, leaving them now with a 37-point lead, 77-40.
We'd like to thank Rydell Skates. They are a proud partner. Of course, they are the official skate of the WFTDA. But another great group, Roller Girl Skates. Apparently there's this woman named Trigger I'm supposed to meet. I think she's around somewhere. Trigger is out there. You want to get some information about that, go to rollergirlskates.com.
If you're here in the crowd, which if you're listening to us, you probably wouldn't be, but you can be watching on your iPhone or on your other mobile device.
Then you should be coming to Denver in November to our championship.
You can win a free set of wheels from Roller Girl Skates if you win the little contest after you find Trigger in the crowd.
In the meantime, we have Cookie Rumble.
That's right. She just kind of clawed her way through the Brew City pack. She's your lead jammer. She's coming up on the back of the pack right now, going to try her scoring pass. But number 216, Frank Herter for Brew City. Made it through, but she was about to score her, but was called off by Cookie Zote, pardon me. So the 216 and the 716, kids these days.
When are they going to learn? So we've got some familiar faces out there. Not unfamiliar as the fresh faces of Dr. Hauschka. They celebrate drhauschka.com. They celebrate the fresh faces of the WFTDA, but familiar ones out there right now, 22. That is F and Money, and 24, Hacksaw.
Here they go. F and Money cutting up on the front of the pack there. Makes a hole. Can't get past it. Tries again. And finally wedges her way through to become your lead jammer. She had to work for that one.
Looks like there was a bit of a multiplayer block minor called. Not sure which one, but you could see why she was having to work.
Yep.
So it seems likely someone's going to get a minor for that, as we are now 80 points for Detroit. Brew City at 40.
Caria Hacksaw did make it through, and she was only about 15 feet behind her. Picks up 1 point to Detroit's 2 points. So, once again, we are at half score. Brew City is 41. You double that, and you get Detroit's score of 82. 23-23 remaining.
Science and math, you are
Double
the complete
H
package.
is looking at me here like I can do math. It's great. Oy, oy, oy. Detroit with a definite blocker advantage there. No players in the box. Rejected Soul back in just now. The pivot for. Oh! We were looking at players going back in when Moby Nips just went through and got Lee Jammer straight out of the gate. Tear to pieces for Detroit has also made it through, but she is more than a half track behind her. Moby Nips gets through, calls it off, picks up those 4 points. In, out, done. And that big crowd of Brew City Bruisers fans over there liked that. They're saying, yes, a few more like that, please, if you don't mind.
I approve. Polly Fester, in the meantime, had been sent to the penalty box. I want to say that was some strong B3 defense coming from the pack. What was great, and I've seen them do this a couple of times now, Detroit very quickly having a confab, I think that's another word that I'm going to abbreviate for the rest of the day, is just getting into that position. Jammers come off the line, being able to adjust. Jammer goes around. B3 for Detroit gets right in front of the Jammer for Team Gold. But you saw there, it took a little bit longer. Moby Nips was still able to get around, but it's a play that has worked very consistently for Detroit up to this point.
You know, if you don't have a great surface for your roller derby team, you can have a great surface almost instantaneously by taking your league to the next level with Skate Court roller derby flat tracks. That's what they're skating on right here, and they will be skating on at championships in Denver next month.
And you yourself could see how durable this floor is, because you could get the high quality stream. You could upgrade, it's going to cost you $20, and you can see the quality of the durability of this floor as it's been skated on many times before and will continue to be. So please take the opportunity to do yourself a favor. It's going to be $20 for the entirety of the weekend. That is where you're going to get the high quality stream that is going to bump you up so that you can see the numbers clearly, the faces, the fresh faces that are out there.
You know, Bam, I don't know about you, but I'm a bit of a reader. I like books.
I could see that about you.
But I know you're not much of a reader, but there's a book out there with a lot of pictures that you might want to check out. It's the new Derby photo book from Jules Doyle, who's also known as Axel Adams in the Derby community. No Mercy is on sale both at the WFTA booth and at all sorts of booths over here. It's a great book, coffee table book, full of awesome, awesome roller derby photography. And it's going home in my suitcase, let me tell you.
You'll have to help me figure out how to do the math to pay for one, because I'll have to make change, and I can't quite read what the bills say. But I know, and I trust you to help me with that, much like we're getting some great trusting defense here.
Yeah, F and Money goes on through. Oh! F and Money goes through, but Zote is now ahead, just kind of jams up, smacks into her, says, hey, I'm here. F and Money does call it off, as she is wont to do, as having lead jammer status. Detroit's been stuck at 82 for a couple jams now. Brew City is at 45. $21 remaining.
Got a nice little bit again at our hashtag Talk2WFTDA. I believe this is Teddy Dahl. Has to work way too much this weekend, so I may suck it up and pay for the weekend so it looks nice on my TV. And I think that's a nice way to treat yourself. You know, if you can't be here, the best way is to bring it to you through the high-quality stream that we're able to provide, thanks to WFTDA.com.
Detroit has lead jam status here as Cookie Rumble is your lead jammer. Cuts on through. Number 216, Frank Herter, up here for Brew City has also made it through. Oh, Cookie Rumble gets through, calls it off, picks up 4 points. Just like that last jam for Brew City. Detroit has answered in kind. Detroit up to 86.
It's interesting to watch this game as the score, it takes these odd leaps and bounds. And what's interesting is it keeps this balance. As we saw
It's been this way for the majority of the game, and then you'll get hard-hitting action, and the score just kind of lingers in that same region. Then you'll get a little bit of a burst, and then it'll linger. And I think that, as you've been talking about, you've got this quick in, out, quick points, hit it and quit it, you're done, and then they're just going to batter each other around a little bit more. As they have 20 minutes left to do just that, Jammers coming through. F and Money getting worked way hard on the Jammer line there, just putting her in a full rotation.
So she's your lead jammer, but Moby Nips is up here stuck in the center of the pack here, trying to make her way through her first go-through. But that Detroit defense is just too strong right now. Push her inside, pushes her back, keeps her stuck in here. Oh, F and Money steps inside, goes right past her, picks up the Grand Slam. 5 more points for Detroit.
Smart move just a moment ago from the Jammer. She is great, Jammer for Brew City. She is very adept at understanding where her position is on the track. Moby Nips is one of those great players because she plays both sides, jammer and defense, that she really knows how to get herself into the position and stay out of trouble. As you saw, almost gets pushed out, holds up just enough to slide right back into that slot. The problem is she continues to be trapped until just that moment. F and Money is going to make another pass. She's able to move around, serve and justice with a little bit of help, gets through. That is her initial pass, but in the meantime, more points for F and Money.
Cool Whip sent to the box on her 4th minor. No, that's excellent spatial reasoning.
You're absolutely correct. That is indeed excellent spatial reasoning.
Big smile on the face of F and Money. She knows she did good right there. She's brought Detroit up to the century mark. They are at 100 points. Brew City trailing 45, 55 points separating these two teams. 18 minutes, 21 seconds remaining.
Lots of time. We've seen some great games throughout our playoff so far. You're going to be able to go back and watch those if you do upgrade. One thing I want to remind you, it just is one of the best deals. You can go back, access to the archives. You can watch it every day over and over and over again for 90 days. You pay $20 right now. For the next 3 months, you're going to be able to go back and watch these games, learn from them, study from them, just drool over the action, how hard these teams are hitting right now.
That was great. Zote just kept one leg up to make sure that she didn't get pushed out of bounds there by the Detroit Jammer, number 28, Racer McChaser. Racer McChaser playing some excellent defensive jamming derby here. Zote just kind of hands on her hips, slowly back and forth. Gonna try and make a break for it, but Racer McChaser's up in front there, holding her back. The pack is catching up with the Jammers.
Yep, indeed.
Oh.
And that was a great call. Jammer comes around Detroit. Jammer comes around for Brew City behind her, leans in, just a big elbow, pushes her to the inside. Ref is right on it. I don't even think Racer McChaser knew what she was doing. It seemed like she just kind of out of recourse.
I don't think so.
Stuck the elbow out and then went, oh, I can't believe I just did that.
Well, and that's why she kind of went to the box without a fight. More of a I can't believe I did that.
Yep. But it happens. You've got that focus. You're just in that moment so much. You take yourself out of it. And that's, I think, exactly what happened. So there's a power jam situation going on right now. Zote is taking advantage as best she can.
Yep. Coach Swingwreck just jumped right on top of that. Gave the slow down the pack kind of motion to his skaters there, and they're trying to do that. They're trying to slow down the pack, get those Detroit girls out of the way to allow their jammer through. Power jam situation.
Polly Fester going now.
Oh, running right into Booty Livers there. Oh, and down again from Cool Whip.
Nice bit of a belt whip. Zote gets a handle on Bloody Cupcake, see if she can do it.
Detroit playing really strong, really hard here. Of course, I'd like to thank Sin City Skates, one of the original roller derby shops in the whole wide world. They are the Big Five skate techs. They'll fix your gear, chat about new stuff when you're here if you're playing in this tournament. Or if you're not playing in this tournament, you can always order stuff from Sin City Skates, a great skate shop.
But if you're not playing in this tournament, you may be playing the brackets, the WFTDA brackets. I want to know, how are your brackets holding up?
I picked them all before the first regional tournament started, and I don't even remember what I picked for everyone. I did really good in the first. I did horribly in the second. I did okay in the third. Here, I think I'm going to do okay. I think I'm going to do all right.
And I'm wondering how your brackets are holding up. I hope you played our Big 5 bracket bonanza for the North Central Region playoffs. If you've played all 4 and the championships, you are eligible to win the grand prize, and grand indeed it is. It's a trip for 2 to the 2012 WFTDA Championships. The winner of this weekend's tournament, Bonanza Bracket Extravaganza, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to update that. Wins a full set of Monumental Mayhem DVDs. So the winner of this weekend's tournament, Bracket Bonanza, is going to get all of the DVDs for this. You can check that out at WFTDA.com. But if you don't win, you can still buy them.
That's true.
It's going to be $15 a piece or $200 for a set for this week.
Reasonable.
I would think.
You know, and that prize is going to be infinitely cooler when they finally announce very, very soon here where that championships in 2012 is going to be. It could be in some exotic location, like Schenectady or something. I've never been to Schenectady.
So therefore, it is exotic.
I'd like to go. It's another thing that
I'm sure they'd love to have you. They got to be full of nice people. If they can put up with that kind of name as a city, they've got to have a good attitude.
Oh, Swing Wreck is coming out here with his arms crossed.
Oh,
That's never good.
That is never good. Nothing says attitude like Swing Wreck with his arms crossed. So as you can see, a little bit of chatter going on right now. Just kind of waiting, biding their time. But they got 15 minutes, 42 seconds left in the second half to play. The conference going on. Both captain and alternate I see out there with our head ref, Dr. Vroom, now having a confab. See, I'm going to keep using that word. With one of our NSOs.
A lot of these girls, of course, skating on Atom Wheels, the official wheel of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, Atom Wheels. If you're looking for the world's most powerful video processing solutions, or as we say in Canada, processing solutions, you want to check out Elemental Technologies, another fine sponsor of this North Central Regional Playoff.
Okay, a familiar matchup, 22-24. 24 goes wide up, then it's going to be able to regroup. Nice bit of move on her skates, very aware, holds up.
Oh, makes it through. Beautiful cross-check attempt there by Cookie Rumble, but she gets on through, helped by the fact that Detroit has 2 blockers in the box, 2, only 1 for Brew City. Brew City's pivot standing up. I believe that's Rejected Soul over there. So Detroit's going to be at full strength very soon. Yeah, that is Rejected Soul. Brew City back at full strength. Grand slam for Brew City.
That last time out, Brew City was challenging the call. They were saying that their jammer was on a scoring pass. They basically said, unfortunately, she was not. So that was a challenge brought by Brew City. But
another grand
make
slam.
Up for it a little bit.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Another grand slam right here for number 24 Heidi Voltage. That brings Brew City up to 55. Also Carrie Haxon.
You know, you can't win them all, John Maddening.
I can't win half of them.
And that's the saddest part about these playoffs is they can't win them all. But if you're at home watching right now, you are, of course, the big winner because you're going to be able to help us watch, celebrate the sport that is roller derby. Fill out your brackets. You can win.
And look how quickly things change here. All of a sudden, Brew City has 2 blockers in the box, which is a definite advantage for Detroit. They're going to try to capitalize on this and try to bring it out of reach of the girls from Milwaukee. Currently, just under 14 minutes remaining, and 43 points is definitely not unheard of. Certainly not in 14 minutes. But it's going to be a tough challenge here. Oh, and right off the top, Elle McPherson being waved off the pivot for Detroit. Racer McChaser, your lead jammer. Oh, a tough run to the face. She fell down on her face. Now she's holding her chin. Number 78, Rejected Soul, but she keeps on getting up. She got knocked down twice. First, she landed right on her face. Then she got landed right on her backside. Gets up. Her face is kind of scrunched up as if in pain. I hope she's all right.
I think there was some unfortunate contact from one of the big blockers from Detroit. I think that when she was coming in, leaned back to make that, just connected with the face, unfortunately. I think that they called it a minor blocking to the head, one of the referees, but it looked like, again, it's about that kind of intention. Still made that contact. Can't do that. So that's going to count, but absolutely, Rejected Soul still trying to shake it off a little bit.
Rejected Soul is your lead jammer. Razor McChaser, Razor McChaser is your lead jammer, but Rejected Soul is in the lead right now. Razor McChaser just keeping hot on the skates of Rejected Soul, making sure she calls it off before Rejected Soul is able to score any points. So that brings it to Detroit 109, Brew City 57, 12 minutes, 16 seconds remaining.
Want to thank Paparoo,
Paparoo,
where you will get hit in the mouth with a little bit of the South. That actually sounds quite pleasant.
I believe they are either here today or tomorrow. They'll be providing some great food, some great New Orleans inspired food for everyone here at this playoff. Paparoo.
R-O-U-X.
X. The X is for extra good. Cookie Rumble, there she goes. Lead jammer for Detroit. Detroit blocker Black Eyed Skis is in the box. So we have Brew City with a definite blocker advantage, but to no avail right now.
Not currently seeing a jammer out there. I was trying to figure out if they were in the penalty box.
They are not.
I'm not quite sure if they just didn't get one out there in time or thought, you know what? This is how you mess with an opponent's head. This is how you be like, okay, we can do this.
We'll do this without a jammer.
We don't even need a jammer on this one. We're just going to stop you right now. I think there might have been some bench miscommunication. Not quite sure what happened, but we do not see a jammer out there. Four blockers trying to hold back.
Hard fall there. M. Fatale gets up.
5-point grand slam for Cookie Rumble as she's able to get around. Pack trying to regroup now. Gold seeing if they can hold it up in the middle, but a little bit of packing happening at the back. Assistants trying to come through, but did not get there fast enough from Zote.
One more time, one more grand slam for Cookie Rumble. That brings Detroit up to 124. She's going to try this one more time. 14 seconds remain on the jam clock. Here she goes. Another scoring pass.
As you can see, struggling, trying to get moved to the inside. Unfortunately, one of our blockers.
She makes it.
Blocker got in the way, but indeed she did get out then. She can get through another 5-point grand slam. That's going to really put a bit of a hurt right now on Brew City as you went from that deficit now all the way. Brew City at 57, Detroit 129. 72 points between the two teams at this point. Now
it's not the final nail on the coffin, but it's getting
putting
there.
the lid in place.
It's going to the hardware store to pick up some stuff. Carrie Hacksaw lined up here for Brew City, up against number 247. That's Booty Livers. And looks like Zote is taking her intentional fourth minor, sitting down.
I'm sure we're going to see her soon enough. In the meantime, Hacksaw is out there trying to move around. She is one of the great stutter steppers out there. She just can position, and it's great because you can't quite tell which way she's going. She just clicks those wheels on the skate court.
Booty Livers getting pushed out there by number 68, Moby Nips. Pushed out again there, and that time number 30, Romaniac got pushed out by Detroit. There's some boos going through the audience here.
But I think they are saying boo.
Boo delivers.
Boo delivers again. That is the big chant. She loves to hear it. Either way, you boo. She says, okay, I'm going. So right now she's going to see if she has an opening to the inside. She is able to hold it slightly. Thankfully, she had a teammate pivot for Brew City. Falls in front of her. She's able to go around now. Blocker's going to hold it.
Yeah, very, very lucky there. One of her skates went out there, but she caught herself, make sure that her hips did not pass an opponent's hips before, so she would get called on a track cut there. All right, we were right. Zote is up, ready to rock for the Brew City Bruisers. Tear it to pieces, lined up for Detroit.
We talked about this before. You do not often see the slow strategy employed outside of what you're viewing right now. That slow start, once they get to go, the action will start to pick up, but it's very rare.
Oh, there she goes. Very nice.
Yeah, if you're ever going to split a pack, I would think that's the way to do it. You're all the way from the beginning of turn 2 to the end of turn 3.
Tara now trying to go around the outside with a little help from her pivot, and she makes it through. Elle McPherson knocks some girls out of the way. Zote now, just gets pushed out and has to stop, but she was on a tear there.
Looks like we have a blocking out of bounds. On someone, didn't see who. Penalties are going to start to stack up. We've seen it happen. This is the time that Brew City cannot allow that. If they have any chance, any hope of getting back in it, they have got to play it as clean as possible, which honestly is very difficult against Detroit. They hit very hard, and they put themselves in positions very well to take those kind of hits and knock you out.
They are putting themselves in your way, and it's very difficult a lot of times to get someone out of your way cleanly. Sometimes you have to get a little minor in there to get them moving. Detroit makes it very, very difficult to make it through clean. 6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Detroit is up now to 144 points. Brew City at 57. And we have a timeout called by Brew City. Dr. Hauschka has amazing bruise healing and skincare products. The preeminent sponsor of these WFTDA tournaments, playoffs, the Big Five, as it were. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Hauschka. Rydell Skates in beautiful Red Wing, Minnesota, right down there on Highway 61, the proud partner and the official skate of the WFTDA, Rydell Skates. Have you been smacked yet? Have you been smacked by rollergirlskates.com, Bam?
I would love to, though, but it has not happened as of yet.
They have a little game here for those of you that are here or that will be here later on this week. I know a lot of people can't get out the first day of a tournament. They have those silly little day jobs. But for those of you that are going to be here for the rest of the weekend, and for those of you that will be joining us in Denver for championships, you want to stop by rollergirlskates.com and get smacked for your chance to play.
I know a lot of people who'd like to smack announcers, so I think that's going to be a good opportunity. All right, we're going to get back to it here in a moment. Polly Fester on the line. I believe this may be one of the few times you're going to be seeing her jam this weekend, and it's nice to put her in for Detroit. I believe Romaniac, number 30, is coming around right now with the Jam Star. A bit of a spin out. Racer McChaser tumbles. She did go out of bounds. That's why she's able to get back in front of her, so she's not going to get, of course, the point for that. But she can keep on keeping on. Right now seeing Polly Fester up at the front. She's being held off a little bit of a gold wall in front of her. Nice bit of a move as Racer McChaser comes in, pries it open. Bit of an assistance. Nice bit of a reach behind whip from Fatale Femme. Great, solid play defense coming from Detroit. As we see right now, still, Romaniac caught behind that three wall of black. Jammer's going to be able to come around. Polly Fester now going to be able to get some points as she goes. Seeing if she can make some contact move happen, but she is not able to at this point. Got 2-16, this time in front. Frank Herter now is holding on to the nice move. As we can see again, waiting for the point confirmation. I believe that is 4. And then a quick call off of the points.
Talk is Cheap knows that it is all about the gear. Talk is Cheap. Take it to the track. You can stop by their booth or website today. Talk is Cheap skate gear.
So a fan favorite, and of course, a skater favorite, Hacksaw again. But Cookie Rumble, names that are known well throughout the WFTDA universe on that jam line. I want to thank you again for tuning in to WFTDA. I like calling it tuning in. Is it logging on, logging in?
I like tuning in. It's like the UHF antenna. You got to make it sure it works just right.
I know something that's working just right.
That's right, number 333, Cookie Rumble. She has been working right this entire game. Detroit's really shown us why they are ranked number 2 in the North Central region. But also, though, Carrie Hacksaw has made it through. But, Cookie Rumble makes it through, calls it off after picking up 4 points. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Time for just 1 or 2 more jams here. Detroit 1-5-2. Brew City 5-9.
So it seems at this point it may be fair to assume that Minnesota is going to be facing Detroit tomorrow, Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern, in a matchup that's going to be coming to you. That means Brew City is going to go on, and they are going to face the winner of the Chicago Outfit and Madison bout.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Making it look easy. Racer McChaser taking a couple hits, but just sloughing them off. Getting through. She's your lead jammer. She's going to come up here on the back of the pack, go through again. Big hits there by Detroit. Still not letting up on Brew City. Racer McChaser's gone through once. She has the grand slam. Making her second pass attempt starting now. Here we go. All of those Milwaukee players were out on the outside except for the one that was behind her. Made it through on the inside real easy. Another 5 points. 1 minute left in this jam, and another Milwaukee blocker going to the box.
With 2 minutes left to play, we're going to get one more jam in at least, because we got 49 seconds left on the clock. We will hopefully.
Heidi Voltage comes back out of the box.
They have an opportunity to see exactly that as jam is called. Remember, you could be owning this DVD or any DVD in the weekend. You could pre-order a game that has not even happened yet. Go to the website, WFTDA.com. It's going to cost you $15, but you can get your own copy of the games that you are seeing on WFTDA.com here at the North Central Region Playoffs, the Monumental Mayhem.
Yeah, I have not been able to travel to any of those other regional playoffs until this one, so it's been great seeing them live on WFTDA.com, DerbyAccess.com. Great partners here. On one skate. Wow. Tear to pieces. Almost goes out twice. Manages to stay in, manages to get your lead jam status, and she's going to try to rack up even more points here. Carrie Hacksaw about a half track behind.
All right, at least time for one more as they called off. 35 seconds left in the period.
Yeah, it looks like precisely enough time. Just under the wire there. And yeah, we got to say, it is foregone conclusion here. Detroit's going to take this. Right now, 169. Brew City's 59. It was looking really good for Brew City at the half. They were coming back really well, I thought. But Detroit really just turned on the power and just kind of buried them in the second half.
And I think it was what we were talking about at the beginning, just the power hitting. I think there's a point at which I'm knowing Detroit just wears you down over time. They
Absolutely.
just keep out there. They keep getting in your way. They keep hitting you hard. And they are one of the hardest hitting teams. And that has to take a toll. That has to be an effect that you're seeing right now, where you've got the ability to stay up on your skates and keep moving, but pushing you back and pushing you back and pushing you back just takes that energy out. Slows them down enough for number 247 to get through. Boo Delivers is your lead jammer for Detroit.
And one interesting thing you've been seeing this entire game, the entire Minnesota team, Minnesota All-Stars, they know they're going to play one of these teams tomorrow at 1 p.m. So they've been watching this game intently, not moving from their seats, checking out how these teams are playing, and definitely want to see that. That's tomorrow at 1 p.m. Booty Livers is pushed out. Oh!
People are going down all over the place, and it's great. Booty Livers is standing almost behind her jammer ref, just tapping her hips away, and it's,
Yep.
oh, there you are.
All right. Well, let's say that's it.
I feel confident to say that is it at our point.
Detroit, final score 174 to Brew City 59. Detroit and Brew City not just giving the high fives, they're hugging each other as they go by.
Mellow Joe here, live from trackside with Racer McChaser, number 28 for Detroit. What an incredible bout. Tell me your thoughts coming out of this one.
Well, coming out of it, we're a little bit different at the end as opposed to halftime. We kind of took a little bit to get going and had to have a little bit of an intense locker room talk at halftime, but we were able to pull out with a final of 174-59. So we finally got our kind of ducks in a row after halftime and played like we should have been the whole game.
Now going into halftime, they actually held you guys back for about 6 or 7 jams scoreless there. Was it the epic halftime pep talk from the coach that did it?
I would say that was definitely a big part of it, and I think they're having another one right now, so I will talk for the next 25 minutes if that's okay.
That would be fine with me, but I'm sure we'll have to get to some more Derby action in just a bit. We've got Cincinnati taking on Naptown, the hometown team here, in just a few minutes. Let's see. Any thoughts about your next bout?
Well, from my understanding, we're taking on the winner of Madison and Minnesota, which would be Minnesota. So that is our matchup from last year. We have a little bit of a history with them, but only at regionals is the only time we've ever played them. In 2007, we were 9th, they were 2nd, we knocked them out of nationals. Last year, we were 2nd, they were 7th, they knocked us out. So, of course, we have that history going into this. We've known that there was likely that there's a good chance we were going to play them. So we've been preparing to play them and hopefully get to Windy City. But, we never know what can happen, and we know that we definitely need to be prepared for that game. So that was part of our focus today, was trying to just get to the next step, because we knew we had to take care of this before we could focus on that.
Well, thank you for joining us.